Perfect. Yeah, just a little different perspective.
In so many of these prior cases, there was a cooperation. For example, tax returns. Every president voluntarily turned over his tax returns. So it gets to be a pitched battle here because President Trump is the first one to refuse to do that. And initially he said because of an audit was ongoing. Now it seems to be broader than that. But the aura of this case is really sauce for the goose that served the gander as well.
We've never had to address this issue, and the reason is because Congress and the President have reached accommodations with each other, and sometimes one has gotten more and sometimes the other has gotten more, but there's always been this accommodation seeking. And what it seems to me you're asking us to do is to put a kind of 10-ton weight on the scales between the President and Congress, and essentially to make it impossible for Congress to perform oversight and to carry out its functions where the President is concerned. And you're quite right in what you said before, that this isn't going to be the last such case. And I wonder whether that fact isn't a good reason to reject your proposed rule.
And the question then boils down to how can we both protect the House's interests in obtaining information it needs to legislate, but also protect the presidency? How can the court balance those interests? I guess the thing I would say is why not employ the demonstrably critical standard or something like that, this is what the other side would say, as something that's borrowed from a different context, but that might serve to balance the strong competing concerns here.
Well, so the end result is that there is no protection whatsoever, in your view, and maybe this is the correct answer, but in your view, there is really no protection against the use of congressional subpoenas for the purpose of preventing the harassment of a president, because the only requirement is that the subpoena be relevant to a conceivable legislative purpose, and you can't think of a single example of a subpoena that wouldn't meet that.